So thinking about attachment, this simple word, but for the Buddha, his Four Noble Truths, his presentation of his kind of the nuts and bolts of his view of the universe, is that effectively the main cause of our suffering is attachment, which on the face of it sounds like a joke, you know. As I always say, we think it's our father, our mother, the universe, the politicians, the food. There's always something out there. And we can be forgiven for thinking that if we look at our senses. You know, from the moment we wake up in the morning, what happens? The first level of input is through the senses, isn't it? So if things look what we call nice, sound nice, taste nice, feel nice, then we think that must be the cause of happiness. And as soon as you stub your toe or there's an ugly sound, we think that must be the cause of the suffering. So we can be forgiven for thinking that's true. But the deeper attachment, the deeper kind of is in the mental consciousness, in our feelings, you know, not just the senses. And that's this sense of who I am, my very sense of me. So if we see, you know, the way they call it in the Buddhist psychological model, they call it attachment to reputation. And it sounds so ridiculous. You think, well, I don't care what people think. But this is the point. We so totally do. It's kind of there all the time. We're always walking on the street. We're constantly having a sense of what other people in front of us, how they're responding to us. If you're on the road, you're driving and someone toots their horn, you have a panic attack. Someone's suggesting that I mightn't be doing the right thing. You're in a restaurant and you kind of, you know, someone says, shush, don't talk so loud, people are looking. So that's a fairly kind of easy thing to see. But actually, I think we really look at it really carefully inside. We have thoughts and feelings all the time about this and about that, and I want to do this and I want to do that. But what we're wanting is someone else to say, to hear what we're saying, to hear our feelings and to validate them. Say, yes, what a wonderful idea. I think it's very hard to see this feeling that somehow, if I'm validated by others, if my thoughts are approved of by others, that means I must be okay. In other words, we don't think we're okay until we get that. Then, of course, look what happens when we don't get it, when sometimes we're abused and harmed by others, which is appalling. Of course it is. But look how it shatters our sense of self, you know. If you're a really fine person and you are telling the truth, and so that's every reason to have a good sense of yourself. But if someone doesn't believe you, it shatters us. We ought to really look at that carefully, you know. It shows how dependent we are on that person believing our words, even though we know we're speaking the truth. This is the attachment to being seen and heard and validated by others. So when that's very strong in us, it's almost as if we can't make a decision. We're too scared to decide, I want to do that because others mightn't approve, you know. Others mightn't like it. Others might have an opinion about me that, you know, that isn't validating me. I think it's a very strong one.